Hey, this is Philip Bergeron from Production4Action. I thought I'd do a quick video explaining the different possible line declarations as well as what they mean and what impact they have on your line. So the different line declarations are events that operators will declare to change the status of the line and redirect where the counters send the accumulated time. So starting with the line setup, this is what you would do at the start of a production date. Now, if you provide a production schedule to the system, this step would happen automatically at the start time of your first shift. Although if that's not possible, this is where you could tell the system that you're starting up for the day. So you would go in here and pick which line you're starting, pick the shift that you're starting on, and then you would have different sanitations or changeovers. Now these are all associated to a time which will be credited back to you depending on what you've set up in the system. So for example, if you were to declare a rinse on this line, you would be credited 30 minutes to do the rinse and then penalized only for the difference, or so if you took longer than 35 minutes. You would then pick what product you're running, as well as what secondary package or packages, depending on if you're running a split palletizer or a dual out feed or something like that. So this initializes the line, it sets your current production date, and then starts the shift that you've declared. Once you do this, the system will go into a changeover mode. That is to say, it will wait to see a continuous running state or product feed for a certain amount of time. So this allows you to set up a ramp up rate so that you're not being penalized for that time. Next up is the changeover. So you do this when you're finished running your product and then you need to start a new run of a new product. So very similar to the line setup, you would go in here and pick your line, pick a standard changeover. So depending on what you went from, what you went to, this could change. Pick the new product that you'd be running, and then again, you pick your secondary packages. Now this will end the previous run and then put the system back into changeover state where it will continue to accumulate changeover time until it sees a continuous run state or a certain rate of product count. A shift change is, as the name denotes, is when you're declaring that you want to change your shift. Now if you put a production schedule into the system, this happens automatically, and I would recommend that this be done so that you can reduce operator input as much as possible. Next up is the change line status. So this page is an accumulation of the auxiliary status that you can put the line in. So after picking a line, you'll see a declaration dropdown, which will give you a drop-down list of the different commands that the operator has access to. So end of day is, as the name implies, it declares an end of day on the line. So it backs out the production run, puts the record out into the system for reporting, and then it puts the entire line in a non-scheduled state, which does not affect any of your KPIs. You can pick an approved reason, such as if the end of day is planned or unplanned, and then you can put in a comment, although this is optional. Remove from production is for when you want to temporarily stop counting the outfeed as well as the time. So this is when you shut the line down for things like breaks, meetings, because you're out of raw material, that kind of thing. So for each one of these statuses, you can set a list of approved reasons that you want your operators to pick from. And this just allows you to more easily report on it into bigger buckets so that you're not dealing with miscellaneous comments, and it's easier to categorize the events. and then an operator can also put a comment. Now you can set this comment to be required depending on what's picked in approved reasons, or if you want it to be required in all cases. It's up to you how you configure this. Return to production is when you have removed the line from production and then you want to start back up. Now this command is optional. If the line detects a certain amount of bottles or product count, or it sees a continuous run state for a configurable threshold, it can be set so that it automatically returns to production without you having to declare it. And last but not least, we have the product correction. So this is when an operator did a product changeover, but he selected the wrong product or sanitation or package. This allows you to correct this product without ending the previous run, so you get to maintain all of your accumulated time and product counts. Now when an operator does submit it, he'll be presented with a warning telling him that this is not a changeover, just to try to avoid them inadvertently correcting instead of changing over. So that's it for the line status codes. Again, if you have any questions, feel free to contact us at decide4action.com. Thanks.